Hi guys, it's Bree at Freeform Fitness. I'm at the Albert location, and today we're going to go over some of my favorite kettlebell movements. So the first movement I'm going to show you is a hinging movement with the kettlebell. It's called a kettlebell swing or a kettlebell hike. This is going to be where you're just hinging at the hips. The shin is going to remain fairly vertical and your feet are shoulder width apart. Grab that kettlebell. You'll have it placed between your legs and you're going to use those glutes and hamstrings to send your hips forward. Moving that kettlebell nice and fast through the movement. Keep your eyes in front of you, but you don't want to keep them up because we don't want to have any flexion in the spine. It should be fairly neutral. The only movement should be in those hips and a little bit of bend in the knee. The arms aren't doing any work, just holding that kettlebell. So we're not swinging it all the way up here. You shouldn't be feeling it in the shoulders. This is a great movement if you're really comfortable with that hinging motion in, say, like an RDL or a deadlift. I like to incorporate the kettlebell swing into my leg days just to get my heart rate up a little bit and just for nice, powerful movement. Kettlebells can also be a great tool to learn how to deadlift before you move on to that barbell or the trap bar. I like to give these to my clients when I want them to learn that hinging motion. So you'll have your feet shoulder width apart. The kettlebell is in between your legs. Same with the kettlebell swing. You're gonna keep those shins fairly vertical. Hinging at the hips, reaching down. Back is nice and straight. You're pulling your shoulder blades together and then you're sending your hips forward. And that kettlebell will hit the ground each time to fully reset. So this is how I usually will teach my clients how to deadlift. Keeping those arms straight. You shouldn't be pulling the kettlebell up at all. And a really big thing is I don't want the spine flexing at all. So we shouldn't be rounding to reach it, and you shouldn't be reaching towards it. I always tell my clients, once you grab that kettlebell, pull the shoulder blades tight, flatten that back, and keep it locked out like that the whole time. And just let the legs do all the work, pushing through the floor, squeezing those glutes each time. Last movement with the kettlebell that I like to do is a nice full body movement. This is the Turkish Get Up. You'll start one leg extended, the other leg is bent and kind of rotated out to the side so it's not directly in front of you. The foot should be outside that hip area. You're loading the arm of the leg that's bent, starting on the ground. Kettlebell will remain over top of that shoulder the whole time, and you'll keep your eyes on the kettlebell the whole time you're doing this movement. So firstly, you're gonna roll up onto that hand, extend the hips to the ceiling, bring your knee around, stand up, nice and slowly. Knee back down to the ground. Rotate that foot to the side, reach your hand to the ground, lacing that leg back through, back onto your forearm, and back onto the ground. The whole time, I'm keeping my eyes on the kettlebell, keeping it stacked over top of my shoulder, moving nice and slowly through the whole motion of the Turkish Get Up. It's not a fast movement. You want a lot of control if you want to get heavier with that kettlebell. It's a nice full body movement. It'll tire you out, and yeah, it's one of my favorites to incorporate into my routine. All right, so those were some of my favorite kettlebell movements. There's many more, but I'll show you that in another video. I hope you guys liked this video and give us a thumbs up. Thanks.